You're listening to Adesope Live, the Afrobeats Podcast.
Well, check one, check two. I'm out here checking out the incredible Faculty Studios. I just thought, let me just come and say hello to my brother, see what you're working with here, and maybe we can have a chat about this Yam Carnival that just happened. What's going on, bro?
Good. Top line the building. I'm glad to be here, Shopsy. Thanks for gracing my studio with your presence.
Listen, it was an honor. Again, when some of our people are doing incredible things, setting up studios, pushing the culture in different ways that they can, it's always very important that we kind of support as best as we can, not only with our pockets, with our prayers, and with our efforts. And that's why we're here. So what are you saying about this Yam Carnival, man?
It seemed, well, number one,
yes.
Shout out to the whole team.
Okay.
Because it's not easy. Let's not forget, we are still recovering from a pandemic.
Fine, absolutely.
And the turnout was crazy. I don't know the numbers yet.
Between 26 and 30K.
Right. That's not a small feat.
Nah, it's crazy. Crazy numbers.
So that's crazy numbers. So shout out to the team, promotion, organizers and everything.
Yeah.
I think what's important is to recognize the effort that people are putting in to put on a great show.
Yeah.
Because often people only see where
they see the finished products, where things go wrong and stuff like that. But
it's easy to notice when things go wrong.
Yes.
And even if it's the slightest thing, it becomes magnified.
Yes, it does.
But from experience, to even put that event on, with post-pandemic,
of course,
we have few festivals like that.
Yeah. Listen, there's no festival in the UK that can boast of such a lineup. This was Africa meeting the Caribbean, meeting the UK, meeting the United States of America. Yam Carnival was created to celebrate African music and bringing the best of black music across the world into the UK. Clapham Common Park, headlined by the incredible Davido, superstars like legends like Beanie Man, superstars like the likes of Yemi Alade, Pato Rankin. Then you have people like Coffee, King Promise. You've got Stone Boy. You had Fatuma Diawara. You had the Major League DJs. You had, so it was an incredible event with three massive stages. The biggest stage was the Carnival stage. That's the headline stage. And then there are different stages with the Afrotronic, the Amapiano, Afro House crew. They were doing their thing. And then they had a second stage where the likes of King Promise and Co. were there. I saw
even UG.
Yeah, UG was a guest performer, I believe, by King Promise. NSG were on the stage. Darko, Miss Banks. The list goes on. It was an incredible day out. Apart from the concert in itself, what was put together in that park was also just a beautiful, when you walk into the park, there are massive images of like the Igbo tradition, the massive images where people can go out. I
saw the masquerades as well.
Yeah, then they had the masquerades on stage just to teach people a little bit of the African culture, because it's called Yam Carnival. And Yam, I believe, is also kind of like the Igbos celebrate Yam Festival every year, New Yam Festival. So it has something to do with that, and they only felt it was right to use that opportunity to also show some of the younger audiences and people that don't, are not from this culture, what, a little taste of the Igbo masquerade and the Igbo culture. They came on stage, they had the music and, were dancing, and just quickly for a couple of moments let people see into that. For me, the performances were incredible. I thought NSG was fantastic. I've seen them perform before, but it was at the height of their big hits a couple of years ago. And, at that time, as a fan and an audience, you don't allow the artists to perform their big hit. We're singing it ourselves. But now, I had the opportunity to watch them really put a show together. They kicked off with a violinist that walked onto the stage and started playing, and then the band walked in, and they performed impeccably well. Then you have, a Miss Banks. One of the big shout outs to all the female rappers, man. Like female artists in general. They always add a little bit more to their performances than people expect, which will be dance routines and all of this stuff. They're singing, they're rapping, they're dancing. They have to be sassy, sexy. Look, it's a lot of work for people like Miss Banks. She gave an amazing show.
Now, you see, before we go into the performances, because I know that's what you're really going to talk about today,
yes,
what was your role in this?
Okay, I was one of the hosts. I was co-host alongside an African icon in Eddie Caddy. One of the most incredible comedians of our generation, and someone who has broken grounds over the last 20 years. Headlined at the O2 Arena himself, and has toured Africa from country to country, and making us laugh and really carrying his identity as being Congolese on his back from day one, at a time when it was very difficult to be that person. So it was Eddie Caddy and myself co-hosting the Yam Carnival, and it was just an amazing thing. Our role was just to keep the audience engaged and to introduce every act on stage, and of course just make sure that the main stage, the carnival stage, was a stage where people had an amazing time throughout. So that was pretty much my role.
I've got a little anecdote about Eddie, actually.
Yeah.
Eddie headlined my first, and hosted actually, my first ever comedy show that we did. My first ever show that I managed solely, like I was the lead in Burgess Park. Eddie did that. And Peckham Square. So Eddie's been doing it for a while.
For a long time.
And supporting the community.
For a long time.
Now, from your perspective, being that you were the host, what was the crowd like? What was it like being in? Because I see you there's no time you're ever on stage and you're not always dancing and shaking your ass.
Yes.
So what was it like?
Listen, man, it is stuff of dreams. Like I've said many a times before. Big shout outs to Yam, the Yam team, Event Horizon, Smade Events, the entire team, Live Nation, the entire team that put this incredible event together and have given someone like myself an opportunity to do what I do and to entertain the crowd and host on stage. It is a feeling like none other. Someone like myself, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any type of drugs, but I love music to my soul. And every reaction you get from me on stage is actually a reaction you see in me when I'm driving in the car or if I'm at home listening to music. But the difference is I've got almost 30,000 people, reacting the same way I am and giving me an instant response. I'm blessed to be on radio at the Beat London 103.6 FM, hosting an Afrobeat show every Wednesday. Afro hits from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Then I have an Afrobeat podcast. So I'm constantly around Afrobeat and African popular culture, but I react like that in my own privacy. So what people get on the stage is just me in front of other people, and I'm lucky that most of the time when I have hosting duties, I am blessed to have incredible audiences that are willing to engage the same way.
Yes.
It's an amazing feeling. People hadn't been out for 2 years. They came to Yam Carnival. There was music, there was DJ, there was food, beautiful women. It was incredible. There was nothing not to like. And when you're on stage like that, you get a beautiful view of everybody. And I'm not going to lie, it's incredible.
That's amazing. Yeah. Now, you were talking about how you listen to that music and you love it within your own privacy.
Yes.
Now you're seeing these acts live.
Yes.
Now, music is great.
Yes.
Stage performance is another thing.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what the performers were like.
Well, African music, the beauty of African music is the live aspect of it. Yeah. I think because music originated from Africa, the drums, the sounds, the dance, and most of the entertainers, the Afrobeats artists, Afropop acts have now infused these elements into their live performances. So when you're talking about people like your Yemi Alade, your Pato Rankin, you know, these guys and girls have now started to add this incredible elements to it. Now, the performance, like I said to you, it was a huge stage. A lot of people hadn't been at, you know, huge concerts like this for a while. The expectations were humongous. I see this Afrobeats artist every single time performing. I've probably been to every single major concert over the last 10, 12 years, but I never tire from it. I'm a huge fan of the culture. I adore the entertainers. I love to support them. And every time I go to a concert, I always feel like that's my first.
Yeah.
You know, Yemi, for instance, I've seen her in Kenya, I've seen her in Nigeria, I've seen her in Paris, I've seen her in Holland, I've seen her in London. But this time it was different. You know, it was in front of close to 30,000 people. And she absolutely smashed it with dancers, with the band. Pato Rankin the same. You know, I was surprised that someone like Pato Rankin was performing, and an incredible DJ like DJ Obi walked past me and he's like, "Yo, Pato was smashing it." You know, he was engaging, and because Pato Rankin is an artist, not only an Afrobeats artist, but he also comes from the reggae dancehall ilk. Yeah. So he adds that to true. It. Yes. So that was fantastic. But, you know, you see someone like Miss Banks, she killed it. NSG, incredible. However, when you witness an icon like Beanie Man work his magic on stage, you have to stop and just marvel at the crowd control, the stage craft. You know, that for me was the most emotional part of the entire process, to watch someone like Beanie Man really take on the audience to incredible heights. And it was just fantastic. Each one of the performers, for me, brought something incredible to that main stage. Yes, the other stages that I didn't witness live had the likes of King Promise and Stonebwoy and, like you said, UG, Major League DJs, but I saw videos of these performances, and because they're like in massive tents of probably about 5,000 people, it looked like a ruckus. Yeah. Each one of those performances went up. Yeah. Probably about 5,000 people, it looked like a ruckus. Yeah. Each one of those performances went up. Yeah. Yes, you know, the one of the major talking points was Kehlani not being able to perform. And
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
Look, this is me putting you into the deep end.
No, don't worry, man. Talk to me.
In that moment, I saw the video.
Yes.
You were right beside Kehlani when she was like, "Y'all should get your money back."
Yeah.
And you were on with your phone.
Yes.
I think you had your phone.
Yes.
Now. What was going through your mind at that time? Because I saw that you were composed.
Yes.
You were composed, and I see you didn't want to speak out of turn.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like,
first of all, let me tell you what happened.
Yes.
Which a lot of people would not understand. Kehlani was on stage ready for her set.
Okay.
Everything was fine.
Yeah.
Yes, we had one or two technical difficulties in the past, but that was, that was besides the point. That usually, sometimes it happens at a massive festival like that. You're going to expect it's a hiccup. Yes.
It's live.
However, she had an equipment with her electric guitarist.
Okay.
That the equipment wasn't connecting with the system on the stage.
Okay.
And the sound, I'm telling you that the sound crew, the festival organizers, management, everybody was behind that place looking at how to get this thing sorted. Everybody. Listen, bro, they had flown Kehlani into the country alongside other superstars, wanting her to give the performance of her life.
Why would they not want to give her the best?
Especially with that kind of audience that was really receptive of performances. Yeah. After spending about close to 40 minutes on that stage, changing wires, bringing plugs, looking at set, they were doing everything to get that electric guitar to work because the lady that was handling the electric, she had a separate equipment for it. Unfortunately, I personally, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like maybe the electric guitar was a massive component of Kalani's set.
Okay.
It was massive. Yeah. If it wasn't, I'm sure she would probably just bypass that and gone on. But I think it was a key ingredient of her set, and it was almost impossible for her to do anything without that. And it got to the stage where people were booing, and Kalani just wanted to walk out there and to talk to the fans and to let them know that she was part of them. You have to understand that her mentality at that point had switched from being the superstar that people came to see, but had switched into a member of the audience who had come to see someone who now they can't see
Kalani.
So what she said was just pandering to the feelings of the audience. She understood the difficulties that the technical crew was going through. Okay. I'm sure she'll be disappointed, but I can guarantee you that deep down, they were there.
Yeah.
They saw it. For me, I didn't feel anyway, even though people were booing, and that would have been a very difficult position for any young host to be in. But for me, number one, that's your job. You get paid to handle situations like that.
You're the face.
Yeah, it's not that when everything is nice and hunky-dory and everybody's teshumole, that's when you're happy. No, you get paid to go out there and deliver bad news if there is bad news. And that was my job. And besides, you have to understand that I had also connected with this audience for close to 8 hours before that.
Right.
So at that point, I had seen myself as one of them. Even though they were not happy about what was going on, they know that this guy is actually one of us who wants us to be entertained as well. So when Kalani was pandering to them, that everybody would have to understand their feelings at the moment and almost pander to their feelings at that moment. But we all knew that it was a situation beyond everybody's control. The technical just couldn't happen, and it was a sad moment for all. However, she did eventually give like a 10-minute performance, because once your time slot goes, you have to go, because remember, it's the Clapham Park. The music has to be turned off at a particular time. Someone else is coming on stage. And the headline artist was none other than a monster from Lagos, Nigeria, in one who they call OBO, the 30BG CEO, King David himself, who came after that to deliver a barnstorming performance. Guess what? He had technical difficulties too, but he handled it like a G, like a genius. His DJ, David's set, usually consists of a DJ and a live band. Yeah. So it's a combination thing. Yeah. However, the DJ's controller all of a sudden just wouldn't pick up. So, the live band, the composers, were left to pick up where the DJ would have played. And they switched like it was nothing, and nobody realized that. And David gave the most mature performance I had seen Davido give in close to 5 years.
Wow.
He was aware of the moment. He delivered his hits to the audience. He connected with the crowd. He was even bantering with the crowd. Remember, he had been criticized in the past for screaming at Afro Nation. Yeah. And there are parts where he's singing where he says, should I shout? They'll say I'll shout. That's how comfortable this man was. Going through what he's gone through in the last 1 year or 2 years and the difficulties he's had to go through. And then to have those challenges on the day on stage, David showed me a next level that he was unlocking with that performance at Yam Carnival. All in all, apart from the Kalani situation, which I believe is the first festival, we had some technical difficulties. I believe, the organizers are onto a winner. What they have done is incredible, and as a people, the one thing that I would just love to implore our people is whenever our people stand up and try to do something that's great for the community and bringing people together, when they trip, we should hold them up.
Don't crucify them.
When they trip, don't kick them down. Because we never had something like this. It's just like Afro Nation. We never had anything like that. And now that we do, where our entertainers, are now standing on stages that superstars around the world are standing shoulder to shoulder.
Exactly.
Because of the risks and the investments that these people have put together. Yes, we might be disappointed for a moment, but we must also applaud the great efforts and hold them up to be able to do it the next time.
Can I just quickly correct you on one thing?
Yes, please.
You said our artists are now standing side by side beside superstars.
Yeah.
Can I restate that?
No, they're superstars.
Our artists
yes.
are now the superstars.
No. What I'm trying to say is this. They've always been superstars.
Yes.
But we never had the stages to celebrate them
true.
that way.
That's true. This is a new stage, a new audience, a new platform.
We're always seeing your Davies, your Yamis, your Tiwas, your Wiz, your Burners and Coles, your D'Banjis and P-Squares as superstars. They are icons to us. Two-Face, DBS, Stoneboy, Sarkodie, all of these guys. However, we did not have those stages of our own to beam them to the world.
Now they're equally superstars.
Now.
Yes.
We have those stages where a Kalani could come to perform to close to 30,000 fans who were singing her songs, but the same audience was singing to Davido and Yemi Alade's songs.
Amazing.
Now that's the amazing part.
That's amazing. And Beanie Man. Can you imagine? Beanie Man. Come on. Beanie Man.
The last thing I'm going to say is this. Beanie Man needs to be a course that entertainers study before they start performing. Period.
Boom. And on that note,
yes, sir.
Any other last words, sir?
Well, as always, make sure you follow me across all social media. Adesope.olajide on Instagram, Afrobeats Podcast on YouTube, all the platforms, and I'm on the Beat on 103.6 FM every Wednesday from 7 to 9 on Afro Hits.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, bro.
Speak to you soon.
Yes, sir.
You're listening to Adesope Live, the Afrobeats Podcast.
Right.